So since BCS season has officially started slash kicked off a lot sooner than I'm gonna be honest with you, like a lot of y'all expected, me included, me personally, I'm not gonna be able to partake in this BCS just because I felt they didn't give us enough time to prepare for it. If I'm being completely honest, the way they just basically like I'm not gonna be able to go to like a lot of big tournaments, like not until like the Kingslayer one comes out, because they're actually fucking smart and they're like, oh, like dude, we got like this big tournament like in a couple months. Like, oh, in a couple months, so I have a couple months to prepare. Versus like Busher, oh dude, like we have this big tournament happening in like 3 weeks. Like and in at least like, and I personally like life story here. I'm sorry, like you could skip this part and then get straight to the deck profile. But me personally, I just started a new job and I have to give like a 90 days request notice before I can ask for like certain days off. And it's just like, it's sad, but like, you know, like I have like certain things are just more important to me right now, you know, getting certain parts of my life straightened out. So I can't join any of them. Not the one in Georgia, which is usually our go-to, which actually happens in like a week. Like I can't do it. I wish I could, but you know, I just don't understand why they couldn't give people at least a month to prepare. Like they don't think that, you know, people have lives, like people like, especially like in terms of like hotel scheduling, flight scheduling if you're flying out for this thing. But that's my personal opinion on it. But the reason I am talking about BCS is because this is one of the decks that you're most likely gonna see. Like this, as soon as like Magnolia got kicked out, not only was it like Magnolia getting kicked out of Tier 1 because it can't abuse draws of Inlet Pulse, also it is Amelia being added to the format that just made this deck super fast. At least in terms of going second, it just makes this deck like super fast, super aggressive, able to get triple drive online on turn 3. Like, I'm going to profile this deck, and don't be surprised if you see this deck even after when Set 6 is released. Don't be surprised if you still see this deck, because this deck is not, it hasn't been nerfed in any way, unless, like, Bushy, in the next, like, restriction list, Bushiroad decides to, like, put Amelia to 1, or, like, something like that. But, like, this deck is, like, still, like, a major, at least in my opinion, it was automatically bumped up to Tier 1 with Amelia, and is, like, a major contender slash threat in the meta, even with Snow, just because of how fast this deck can pop off. But, let's get into it, baby. So, 4 of MAHAR NIRVANA. Obviously, it's, you know, it's a MAHAR NIRVANA deck. 4 of the grade 4 Varina. Getting into our Varinas. This is actually like a very low Varina count I'm running in this deck. This is actually like the lowest, just because you have to fit in Amelias, and the only way you're able to fit in Amelias really is just like you have to like lower down your Varina count. So the only Varinas we're really maxing out on is for Expectorite Aririda, or however you say the grade 4 Varina's name. 4 of Varina Arcs, just for the draw power, is just very nice, helping you draw into those key pieces. And then we're running 1 regular Varina, and then 1 Varina Expecta. Now, I was running 2 regular Varinas, but there's like a lot of times where like this card is like strictly just draw fodder. Like, I don't care if I get this off the ride line or not. All I care about is if I get the Trick Star off the ride line. That's like the most important thing for me, is just getting the Trick Star to be able to put arcs on top of that, draw 2, or just have it for like turn 3 plays, if I'm being honest. So I just cut it down to 1. Like, if I get the search, I get the search. If I don't get the search, I don't get the search. And I have a friend that like he was like a strong advocate of 1 for the longest time, but I was playing 2. But more recently, I just put Expectorata in there just because I have put in other cards in this deck that is like, this is searchable, and this is kind of like an out to prison. But like I said, like usually, especially since like prison is like such like a turn 4 deck, usually like you're just going to like not like blow them out the water, but like you obviously have to play around their prison mechanic, but you know, you're able to just fight more aggressively than them, especially if you're abusing their own rad line and putting your grade 4 out on turn 2 and just able to get those multi attacks early in the game. And then for Trick Star, you want to max out on your Trick Stars, even though you could search one. I know some people that they put Trick Star in the ride deck. I don't feel like that's necessary anymore. At least in the Mahar version of the deck, that doesn't really feel necessary. But onto the grade 1s. I'm running 3 Amelias. I was running 4 at first, but 4 just felt too cloggy, especially since Amelia is just really like the play you use on your turn. Whoa, how do I undo that? Okay. Amelia is really just a play you do use on your turn if you are going second, and you're not always going second, which it's just like, it's one of those things where like it's just really beneficial to you if you do happen to lose the dice roll, since in Vanguard you can't choose to go first or second, you have to lose the dice roll to be able to do that. But I'm only running 3 just because we have arcs. You could like realistically hard mulligan for it, since you only ever really need the 1. And you can't, if you do happen to go first, you can just use this for like a double damage ping on your opponent's turn if they're like at 3 damage or less. And then I'm playing 3 Rasuji. I've never felt like I've needed more than 3 of this card. 3 felt nice, like just like with Amelia, like the 3/3 split on these. Wow, this just looks like, I'm looking down on it and it just looks so terrible. Like, how do I fix this? Come on, B, tighten up. But like I said, like I've never felt like I've needed more copies of Rasuji. Most of the time, like when I do see him in hand, he just gives me the green light. Okay, cool, I can ditch my grade 4s. That's usually how I look at it whenever I do see him. And then I am playing 2 copies of Blaze Maiden Xmina. The reason I am playing Blaze Maiden Xmina in this deck was that originally I wasn't. I was playing like 2 of what's his name? The grade 2 that like on intercept it gets like plus 10k shield on intercept, and it's like Urger. I was playing 2 Urgers, but sorry guys. I was playing 2 Urgers, but I feel like Xmina is just way more valuable in terms of like the Overdress units I want to see, instead of just like filling in the deck to Overdress units that are like okay to see. Like Urger's a strong card, don't get me wrong, but most of the time, like when I did, it was just like a beater. And versus like if I have Xmina, instead of just a beater, I could either like put Xmina behind a trick star, make an arcs column, put Xmina behind my Vanguard, grab another grade 4 Verena, grab the grade 3 Verena, Expecta. So I just liked it. It just gave me like so many like better options, especially like in this version of the deck. I feel like if you set up like 2 grade 4 restanding Verenas, it's just very hard to lose. Or it's just very hard if your opponent just can't get rid of them without attacking into them. This deck's hand side also like gets like very freaking massive as well. That's like and then for DPGs. But in my personal opinion and playtesting, if you're practicing for this BCS season, and you're wondering if your deck is good enough, like let's say you're taking like an anti-meta deck, or like a rogue deck. If you're wondering if your deck is good enough to stand up against the meta, like a good practice partner that I usually use before I take a deck to a tournament is I do play it against grade 4 Nirvana. Because in my mind, because grade 4 Nirvana has aggression, has multi-attack, has triple drive, has hand advantage, if I can beat grade 4 Nirvana, then generally I think my deck is good enough to beat any other meta contenders. But that's just the way I look at it. Like for you, a better practice partner might be, what's it called, Gravidia. But I don't know. I feel like you're more likely to see multi-attack decks than just like the Gravidia like 3-attack deck. Like you will see Gravidia. Because just Gravidia has like like MAHAR Nirvana, has lost no power. If anything, just gotten way better over time. So you will see this in at your BCS. But pretty standard trigger lineup: 4 heal, 8 crit, 3 draw, and then 1 Dragon Empire OT. It's very hilarious because when you used in Nirvana, when you used to check the Dragon Empire OT, it used to really not matter. You really weren't scared of it at all. But now, because grade 4 Nirvana just exudes so much pressure out onto your opponent, when you do check that Dragon Empire OT, even if you can survive, you're just like, well, shit, my hand was just decimated, and my opponent's over there with like a 9 to like 14 card hand. And like I said, this deck is definitely like a very big meta contender in my opinion. It even has like options of spot removal with your grade 2 Varina, which I have used at times, funnily enough, because you can build quite a bit of soul with this deck. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will be bringing more videos in the future. Very hopefully. Like, I'm trying to do the best I can with my work schedule. I'm trying to do a video a day. But later.